Welcome to the House of the Dragon Hub, where we discuss everything relating to the House of the Dragon TV series. Thank you once again for clicking this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. This is the House of the Dragon Hub. Once again, we are back with another gist. So far, so with the House of the Dragon, and in today's video, we'll be highlighting 5 things you might have missed in the House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 1. Now, let's give you that gist. If you remember correctly, in House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 1, when the announcer came in to, announce the person that Prince Daemon has chosen, you could tell that this was shade throwing. The emphasis that he used on the sun, emphasis he used on the word prince, gave us a different notion about the way he was supposed to announce it. I don't know whether it was to give some sort of gusto to the king to welcome the baby boy. I mean, at that time we didn't know whether it was a boy or a girl, but the king had a dream and believed that this time it was going to be a boy. But when you listen carefully and watch carefully, it didn't really sound well. Let's forget about the fact that these announcers come with so much energy, so much passion to announce the fighters. But the emphasis on the son and the prince was just way too much for us. And when I say us, well, you could be part, I could be part, my friends could be part. So let's just stay with that. It wasn't really much of the announcement, but the way the announcer started throwing shades, making emphasis about the son, the prince, and we all know that King Viserys at that moment did not have a son, and therefore it was just a highlight to the public. Okay, Prince Daemon, the son of Sir Gawain. I mean, let's look at it once again. Let's think about it once again. But I think it was something that a lot of people didn't really pay attention to. And it wasn't just about the announcer making, his announcement. It wasn't just about that. This was some sort of shade throwing. But of course, we don't really have to pay much attention to it. It's really a minor aspect in it. But it's a very important detail because we might get something in the episodes that will be coming after episode 1. It may not be 2, it may not be 3, it could be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is where we could be referred, or we'll have a reference to what we mentioned in our first gist about the announcer throwing shade to King Viserys and the family. Now let's watch that video again. But before we watch that, do not capture that energy of the announcer. Just emphasis on the word. Pay attention. Pay attention to the word prince and son.
For his first challenge, Prince Daemon Targaryen chooses Sir Gawain Hightower of Old Town, eldest son of the Hand of the King.
I think you saw it once again. If you don't mind, go back and play it, and then you can see what I am talking about. The way he even points at that portion, emphasizing on the word son, really told us that no, this guy is just making mockery of King Viserys. The fact that King Viserys has no son, and is just indicating that the Hand of the King has a son. But we won't look at the the demeanor of Lord Corlys. I think the demeanor of Lord Corlys had nothing to do with the emphasis on the son, but something that we'll be talking about in our next video. So if you didn't look at that well, let's look at that video once again.
Prince Daemon Targaryen chooses Sir Gawain Hightower of Old Town, eldest son of the Hand of the King.
Moving on is the second gist, and I think with this, most people might have noticed, but we still want to talk about it. Lord Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King. I think we can all agree that this person has been very manipulative. I don't know whether he is using a spell on the king or what? We don't even know. But in episode 1, when the tournament was about to start, we realized that he whispered into the ears of the king if Baratheon's tongue could be taken. And it was just because Baratheon made a statement regarding Rhaenyra, the queen who never was. I mean, as a hand of the king, why would you even advise the king to make such a statement? And King Viserys says, let them work. It's not going to change anything in the successor. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change anything in the succession. I mean, whatever Baratheon says, let him say it, and that's what King Viserys means. And I think when we go on to watch the episode after Queen Aemma had died, we can all see what Lord Otto told her daughter to do. This man has been very cunning, very manipulative, and I think he has a serious ulterior motive towards the throne or even towards the Targaryen house. But if you can carefully look at this, not to give you any spoiler alert, this man is going to be a dangerous man because of the sort of ideology he's planting into the daughter's head, Alicent Hightower. Now, back to what I wanted to say. When we carefully look at the behavior and the characteristics of Otto Hightower, he resembles or he's replicating the behavior of somebody we knew in Game of Thrones. And I'm sure people already have seen this, the Littlefinger. Littlefinger, my goodness, this was a very cunning man. That is the same behavior Lord Otto is also depicting. It's not just about he being the hand of the king, but the way he says it, the approach, his demeanor towards it. Very calm. These calm and sneaky people can be very dangerous. So I think we sort of miss how Lord Otto Hightower has been very manipulative and how he's always, saying words into the mind or into the ears of King Viserys. And I think King Viserys easily falls for it. I don't know whether it's because he's the hand or he's speaking the truth. But whatever Lord Otto Hightower says, King Viserys takes a step and easily agrees to it. I mean, except the fact that King Viserys didn't want to take Baratheon's stand.
Baratheon's tongue to that.
Tongues will not change the succession. Let them wait.
And it's just because King Viserys is not a man of violence. This is a king who always wants peace. He wants to reign in peace. But, Otto is always looking like,
go and get them, king. Go and get them.
That's the kind of man we've seen Otto to be. And I'm sure we'll get more of him as the episode continues. And this is something we all should be expecting, or we should be looking out for. How he's going to manipulate the life of King Viserys, even House Targaryen, and how he's going to manipulate the characters in House of the Dragon.
Our third Jesus when King Viserys got pricked by the throne. But before we talk about that, let's dive into why the wound on King Viserys' body is not healing. Some people have developed a theory that the king might have been poisoned, not like in terms of food consumption, but the throne has been poisoned. And anytime it pricks the king, there is always a problem. The wound is not healed. But so far, we've seen one wound on King Viserys' body, and the maesters are worried, the healer is worried. They are all sort of wondering why this wound is not really healing, even though they are doing everything that they need to do. And Lord Otto, the cunning man, dangerous man, comes in and warns the maesters, you don't need to spread this information. It's just a mere wound. We are doing our research at Citadel to find out if there is more information we can find about this. And I think most viewers will agree with me that this is not just a wound. There is something that we are not getting yet, but I'm sure it will come up in the next episodes. And we will just get the reason why this was really happening. But if you haven't seen the time that King Viserys had his hand pricked by the throne, just look at this. Yeah, we know the Iron Throne is made up of swords and anything you can think of. but mostly swords, you understand, molded into a throne. But the fact that it praised the king and the sword is not healing is another thing that we really have to look at. And I'm saying this because when we watched the episode 1, when the king was worried, and he sort of assumed that it's probably the sword, the throne that might have pierced him or pricked him, and that is why the wound is not healing. But it's something that we are really concerned about. Is it that the king has been poisoned, or somebody is trying to kill the king in a different sort of way, and the wound is going to spread all over his body, or the wound is just going to be there and gradually poison his nervous system or his circulatory system, and then he dies. I mean, we don't even know what this might be. But not to give any spoiler, let the sword or the throne that pierced King Viserys wasn't just an ordinary thing that happened. There is a rationale behind the fact that he got pierced and the wound is not going to heal. And as a matter of fact, we should start seeing something different. And well, the kid is not going to die any moment from now, but it was just weird that the wound on King Viserys' body was not healing. And the fact that the latter part, he got pierced by the throne. And he seemed very worried the moment he got that cut on his finger. But well, just watch this video.
We've sent inquiries to the Citadel. They are searching the text for similar cases.
It's a small cut from sitting a throne. It's nothing.
The king has been under heavy stresses preparing for the birth. Bad hues of the mind can adversely affect the body. Whatever it is, it needs to be kept quiet.
Our forges, I mean, of course, if this had not been mentioned, then we probably say we didn't watch House of the Dragon. Prince Daemon, I don't know whether we should describe him as a rebellious prince, but no. I mean, he's just a wild and a hot-headed person. Now, when we look at episode 1 of the House of the Dragon, we saw that Prince Daemon internally had been torturing Lord Otto Hightower. Is it the fact that he's close to the king, or the fact that Lord Otto tells the king everything and the king pays attention to it? Is it because Prince Daemon feels like the king is being influenced by Lord Otto? During the tournament, he did not just choose Lord Otto's son. He chose him for a reason. When he was going back and forth trying to choose from the horses, he sees a Hightower in that of the costume that Lord Otto was wearing, said Wayne, and that was when he chose him. He was like,
I'm gonna kill you.
and I think it was meant to happen. He really wanted to do that. And when he chose said when he looked at the side where Lord Otto says, and the demeanor of Lord Otto could tell that this boy is just up to something. But it's just a tournament. Nobody was supposed to die. But unfortunately, and that was it. But then again, when we look at the sitting where Prince Daemon was summoned, in front of the laws about that barbaric act that had happened previously, it became a heated one, and it didn't go well for Lord Otto with that utterances from Prince Daemon's mouth. I think they come with some sort of different vibe anytime they meet, and I don't know whether Prince Daemon just despises Lord Otto or Lord Otto despises Daemon, all because of his his behavior, his character, his personality. And I think Lord Otto is another man who believes that Prince Daemon shouldn't be closer to the throne in any way, and he's always finding a way to push Prince Daemon away from the king, and I think it's working. It's really working out. But Prince Daemon is finding a way to torture Lord Otto Hightower, and by so doing, making those utterances, choosing his son to fight with, injuring him, and that sort of thing. So we should expect that there's going to be a huge banter between Lord Otto and Prince Daemon. You have to pay attention to these things because sometimes it escapes our mind, and we sort of wonder, okay, why is Prince Daemon acting so high or so harsh on Lord Otto? It seems he doesn't respect the hand of the king. But it is what it is. We just don't think Prince Daemon, who believes he is the right heir to the throne should just sit down and watch Lord Otto bully. He always wants to fight back, and that's the kind of person we believe Prince Daemon is. I think we're going to see more of him as he tortures Lord Otto in a very, very sneaky and sinister manner. Well, we hope you get this, and I'm sure you can also drop your comments and tell us what you think. Is it that they despise each other, or there's a history behind them? I don't know. Well, that's what I can say for now.
What do you know about the Sir Criston Code, Sir?
I'm told Sir Criston is common-born son of Lord Dondarrion's steward, but other than that, and the fact that he's just unhorsed both of the Baratheon lights, I really couldn't say.
Well, I think you saw this, but you probably didn't notice this. What is really happening between Sir Criston and Princess Rhaenyra? In episode 1 of the House of the Dragon, we saw that after Sir Criston's fight, after he had defeated one of the guards, Rhaenyra called in for Sir Harold and asked, "Who is this man?" And Sir Harold had to explain to her. But for a lady to just quickly ask of a man, I think he's seen how brave, the way he fights, and of course, definitely the looks. And I'm sure there's something that is going to gloss on in between Princess Rhaenyra and Sir Criston. We are just yet to see more of that scene in the next episodes. I think Princess Rhaenyra might have a thing for Sir Criston. It wasn't just about the way he fought, but the fact that he started asking a lot of questions about Sir Criston. The way he looked at him, the smile, and everything shows that our princess might be falling in love with Sir Criston. No spoiler alert, but I'm just giving you what we've seen so far between Princess Rhaenyra and Sir Criston. Well, we don't know what will happen in the next episodes. Are they getting married? Are they going to be together? We are yet to find out more. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Comment below what you think we've also missed on our part, and we'll be very glad to learn from you.
What do you know about the Sir Criston Code, Sir?
I'm told Sir Criston is common-born son of Lord Dondarrion's steward, but other than that, and the fact that he's just unhorsed both of the Baratheon lights, I really couldn't say.